Okay, so I've got a hardened ball bearing here, chucked up, and a carbide spade bit, 1/8 inch in the tailstock here. And I'm going to try to drill a hole in this ball bearing. And I don't think it's going to be that easy. I got to get over here so if something breaks, it's not going to hit me in the face. It is cutting it. I'm hoping that this ball is only case hardened here, because I'm going to eventually try to tap it. Yeah, we are cutting it. Yeah. It is cutting it good. What I did was I found a 1/8 inch dowel pin, hardened, and I pressed it into this 1/8 inch hole I have here, and it's in there good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn a 30-degree taper on this piece of 3/4 inch stock I got chucked up here, and then I'm going to drill a hole and press this in there, and that ought to be good enough. So let's get moving here. It's just a piece of mystery metal I pulled out of the scrap box. I don't think it's mild steel. It could be alloy of some kind. But it's easy enough to turn, and it's good enough for what we're doing here. Okay. This ball is 375. So what I'm going to do now is pull out a 375 ball end mill and right here. And I'm going to check that up in the tailstock, and I'm going to counterbore the end of this thing just a little bit, and that'll make a nice seat for the ball. So pull this back, and first thing we're going to do here is center drill it just a little bit, get a place for the ball mill to start. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I think that'll be just about fine right there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is drill a hole here so I can press the other end of that dowel pin into there and set that ball in. So that dowel pin is exactly 125. So let's consult Mr. Starrett over here. If we go to 31 drill, ooh, that's a 5,000 fit. They usually drill a little oversized though, so we'll go to 31 here to see how it works. So my 31 drill mics out at 121. So we'll see what happens here. You're going to want to go in about 300 thou. 300 Okay. I also have hooked up my compressor to an automatic switch here, so that's a very convenient thing to have. All right. That's going to go. I'm going to have to dig out a reamer here. So I'll pause you while I dig through my reamer collection and find one that's going to make that hole a little bigger, like maybe 123 or something. Hang on. Alright, I found myself a 124 reamer. So, we're going to just ream this hole out a little bit so we can get a good press on that pin. This is one of those Craigslist gold finds here, where I bought countless reamers off this old machinist guy for like nothing. And I mean, I'm talking countless here. Countless. Hundreds of them. And the guy had like every freaking size in the world. So I can't even remember what I paid. It was less than $50 for the whole drawer full. But when you need a reamer, you need a reamer. Alright, let's see my little ball here. Oh yeah, that's going to press in there nice. Alright, I'm going to take this out and I'm going to bring it over to the arbor press. And we're going to push this ball right into the face of this thing. Be back in a minute. Alright. There it is. Can you guess what I'm making yet? It's a ball center. That's going to work out real good. Okay, so I don't need this sticking out so far here. I'm making it so I can put it into my offset chuck that I made a little while ago to turn tapers, so you know, it doesn't have to stick out that far. Cut off 1.5 inches. See how that works. Alright, I gotta get the compound back set up and get set up for parting, so I'll pause you for another minute or two here. Okay, I've set this parting tool to a totally arbitrary and capricious value here, and we will proceed to part this off. Okay. So what I'll do next is just face this off, put a nice chamfer on it, and we should be done here. Okay, I think we are done. And there you go. One ball center. So what this is really good for is turning tapers in the tailstock. Let me get that set up and I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, so what is this ball center good for? Well, let me show you. Normally, if you have a short taper to turn, you would use the compound. But, you know, you only get like, what, 3 or 4 inches of travel on that. And, you know, then you're done. Now, you either have to have a taper attachment or you have to offset the tailstock somehow to get the thing to cut a taper. Well, you may remember a couple of episodes ago, maybe, I don't know, 6 months ago or so, I made this little adapter, which is a Morse 2, and it screws into my boring head. Okay. Now, I'm not really going to cut a taper here. I'm just doing this for demonstration, but now I can stick that into my tailstock, and normally you would put a center in here, and then, you know, you'd cut it. You'd could trim up the taper here so that it was running exactly concentric with the spindle. But I'm not going to do that for this demo. What I can do here now is put my center in there, my ball center. Okay, like that. Now normally you'd have a dog on here as well. This is a lathe dog. Oh, what the heck, I'll show you. Okay, and then this would grab one of the chuck faces here. I gotta move this in a little. Okay. Okay. And then you tighten this screw around the work. I don't know if that's going to make it or not. There we go. Okay, so that would provide drive for the piece. Now, normally if this thing is centered right here, you know, you're going to not cut a taper when this thing traverses here. But what you can do is offset now this tailstock whichever way you want. And now what it's doing is it's moving it side to side here. So this will cut a taper now. Now the problem is that if you have just a point center in here, like, you know, something like this, you're only going to be running on just a corner, you know, the corner of this thing is just going to be barely touching because there's an angle involved here now. But with the ball center, it's always going to be contacting around the entire circumference of that center hole that you drilled. So there's much less friction. Now this is a hardened ball, and you know, I mean, I'm offset now, so I could cut a taper on this. This is just a 3/4 inch bolt that I got at some junkyard. Bolts are great steel. If you can find these things, I mean, you know, this bolt, somebody had cut it off, and so there wasn't a head on it. But you know, it's still a nice hunk of 3/4 inch steel. So if you find these things, save them. You know, they're worth it. They're great, great steel. It's alloy. This is, I mean, if this bolt was brand new and it had a head on it, it would probably cost 20 bucks. But, you know, for our purposes, there you go. So this thing can, you know, be offset any way that you want. Come on, baby. Okay, like this, and it will still ride on that ball perfectly. So if you got to cut tapers that are longer than what your compound can do and you don't have a taper attachment, you can mount a boring head in here. Now you don't need to do this, but I hate, like everybody else, taking the tailstock off center. I'm always checking to make sure that thing is lined up with the spindle, so you know, to deliberately offset it, it's a pain. I don't like doing it. With this, what I can do is I can actually calculate, okay, I want like a certain, you know, inch per foot kind of a thing, dial in an offset here, and it will get me pretty close. And then, you know, then you do the old method of using the dial indicator to zero it in. So that's how you do that. And, you know, it works pretty good. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. And we also got this one, which we made. You know, it's another tailstock accessory for countersinking or inside chamfering as well. I got quite a bit of tailstock accessories here. Got my drill chuck. I got the double boost countersink bit. I got an ER32 collet chuck. I got an adapter that lets me have a center drill. I got a small live center. This is a concentric. I got a large live center, and I got a bell center. You know, with this here, that's, you know, you can do a lot of stuff with that. And now we can add to that my ball center. So there you go. Hope this helped you out. You know, build some adapters. Turn a Morse taper 2s is not that hard. And, you know, obviously that wasn't that hard either. The hardest part of this was drilling the ball bearing. Now, you don't need a ball bearing either. I mean, you could, you know, just turn a radius on there and it would last, but ball bearings like hard, RC60 or whatever, even harder than that probably. So this will last a long time. So if you got carbide drills and you can drill into there and, you know, get a press fit in there, it's the way to go. Okay, thanks for watching. Wow. That's great, huh? Wow. Thing really turns, huh? Thrust. It's got power. For what?
Do you know what it's used for, Dan?
ringing off the hook first thing in the morning because the neighbors around here complain about the noise from the aircraft.
They've known about it long enough.
I know.
It's like the marathon. You know about it, so leave that.
Yeah,
Here it comes
really.
again.
I'm a neighbor, so.
Yeah, you are too. Yeah, I'm from Concord.
You live in Concord too?
Yeah, do you?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, we're here from the chamber. They asked all the chambers of commerce. I own the stationers. You know where the stationers is? Press booth, yeah, so if you want to go represent. It's right next to the, it's on the right, the second door on the right.
Our house is set in the back, and we have nothing. So I know when it's 7 a.m. yet because the airport opens at 7 a.m.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a flyby.